After a 29-7 loss against the Colts that did see a good game from Cam Akers, but that was about it as the defense really struggled to stop the passing game, mostly to downs, though we did fairly well against Jonathan Taylor. We are set to make some more roster moves. And as we get stuck on into this episode, week 5, where we'll be taking on the Philadelphia Eagles, as mentioned, there's still some more things we need to do to this roster, and I did check some things prior to getting started recording this episode, and some of the things that we're going to do today were suggested in the comment section, and I very much agreed with it. So the first one we're going to start with is at tight end. Pretty much for the remainder of this season, we're going to be focused on finding guys to try to build around for the future, using guys we have on this roster to try to find things to help us build for the future, and then maybe bringing in a couple veterans just for a stopgap for this season. Obviously, I want these games to be entertaining, so I need us to be playing a little bit better than what we have been. So the first move is going to be Tyler Higbee. And I did check, he's on the trade block, but I did just see what other teams' interests were for him, and the very first one is very intriguing to me. With the Broncos, a future 6th-round pick, but primarily the outside linebacker in Nick Bonito. He would come in, he's a young guy, 23 years old, first off, 71 overall, but he would come in and already be a higher rated player than any of our outside linebackers. Giving up a tight end in Tyler Higbee, who we haven't been able to get involved in the passing game, I think is perfectly fine. So Nick Bonito will be coming in as we make our first trade to start this episode. That also leaves an opportunity for either Bryson Hopkins or Davis Allen to get some more playtime, though I do plan on bringing in a veteran tight end. Next up is going to be the veteran tackle for us in Rob Havenstein. Now, he's fairly highly rated for a tackle, being an 82 overall, and that actually puts him as the 6th best left tackle in the, or right tackle in the game. So we're going to be trading him away. Now again, he's the 6th ranked tackle, so there should be some decent trades coming in for him, and there's one in particular that I very much like, and there's definitely a good amount of trades coming in here for guys that could be pretty interesting. But we need help at linebacker, specifically in coverage, and the Chargers. So Murray wouldn't even have to go anywhere because he would still play in Los Angeles, just switching blues, essentially. But Kenneth Murray Jr., 24 years old, fairly well balanced linebacker with some speed, needs to work a little bit on some of his run stopping ability, plus a current 5th round pick. I think that's a no question for sure. So there's another trade we're going to make. So now we brought in 2 linebackers, one going to be more of an edge rusher, one an off ball. But obviously, that's going to leave us with some holes on this roster. And as mentioned, we are going to be signing some veterans just as stopgap players. And when it comes to tight end, primarily we're going to be focusing on the running game. So that's the kind of guy I want to bring in. Now, I was hoping to find some mentor tags for these veterans, but unfortunately for guys that would really help us out much, there's really not anything for that mentorship till you get down to a 33-year-old, 68 overall Ryan Griffin. And that's not going to help us out as much. So we will go with Max Williams, just a bridge player, not going to be a long-term solution for us. On top of that, we need to find ourselves a fullback. And surprisingly, there is really no fullback in free agency. So we're going to have to convert a tight end. And I did find one who I thought would be interesting. Maybe did actually play tight end. I'm honestly not sure. But Josiah DeGuara, who is 6'2", 238, I think that would very much fit that build, at least, of a fullback. 26 years old, can be with us for a little while as well. Has some speed, has some catching ability out of the backfield as well. Run blocking is going to come in at a solid spot. Impact blocking, solid spot. And lead block, solid. He's nothing fantastic. Will he be a long-term fullback for us? Who knows? But for now, we need at least one fullback, and we now have that. In addition, with the trade of Havenstein, we need to find ourselves a new starting tackle, and we do not have that on roster. And there is very much an older player here in Jason Peters, 41 years old, but he does have that mentor tag. So I think that would be fantastic for us and could fill out that role really well, as he's honestly a pretty well-balanced guy. Obviously not as highly rated as Havenstein, but this is a stopgap solution for us, so we will bring in the vet. And the last move we're going to make is actually over on DT. We didn't lose any defensive linemen, but we very much need someone else there. And once again, going after a veteran with the mentor tag, we have Brandon Williams. He's going to come in and provide strictly run stopping for us because we do not really have a guy for that specifically, yet we've actually done pretty well in the rushing department. But he's going to come in with some strength, with some block shedding, a little bit of power moves. We'll see if that gets much involved at all, but primarily a veteran guy here for us to help mentor the young guys. And if you're wondering, Josiah DeGuara comes in as a 71 fullback, so he actually goes up a couple spots. But we do need to make some room on this roster now, since we did add a fair few amount of guys. So we're going to have to get rid of some offensive linemen. We're also going to have to move Peters over to that right tackle spot. But right now, I think it might be Antrim. So he will be released. It also will free up a little bit of cap space, though that's not much of a worry for us. Over on the defensive line, we're going to get rid of the older guy here in Jonah Williams, going again off of that same mentality of trying to stick with the younger guys and developing them. So Brown will get the secondary spot at the DT, and that will also open up a little bit of play for Desjuan Johnson. Maybe I'm pronouncing that right. Maybe it's wrong. Who knows? But either way, Jonah Williams will be the next guy cut just to make room for the veteran. At middle linebacker, with the addition of Kenneth Murray, we are going to have to get rid of someone, and that's going to be Nick Neiman, who was someone we added to the roster, I want to say episode 1, but he's no longer needed. And for our last and final cut, with the addition of Bonito, I don't know. One of those, maybe. We're going to be releasing Kyer Thomas. He's only in his second year, but he is 25 years old already, 61 overall. Don't see him developing into anything impactful for us, so that will be our last cut, and we are now down to the 53. And lastly, we'll be debuting a custom playbook this episode. If you did not watch the previous episode on Sunday of the Virginia's State-Only Challenge, you missed out on the creation of this playbook, though we didn't go too in depth of creating it together, more so me just explaining it. But if you guys didn't check out that series, hope you do, it's fun. But we're going to be using the same playbook as we do in that series. Primarily, it's going to be a lot of single back, strong or weak eye, 2 tight ends or a tight end and a fullback. Very traditional running forms using that fullback, using the 2 tight ends. So hopefully all of this changing is going to help us out, and we're going to score more than twice in one game, because right now I think that's the record. So let's jump on into this match against the Eagles and see what we can do. And as we get this matchup underway, it will be the defense out first as we boot the ball all the way to the end zone, and Duvernay will take the kneel. So Jalen Hurts and this high-flying Eagles offense will start back at their own territory. And no, they've done obviously really well going to the Super Bowl. However, this year they haven't started off as well. So I am very interested to see how they play and how some of our new guys play, as we're going to have Murray, as was mentioned, as an off-ball linebacker, and I'm pretty sure that was a trip, but the refs don't call it as DeAndre Swift face plants. Could definitely credit that tackle to Jones, who got flattened by the lead blocker, but the foot caught Swift. And we'll have a 2nd and 4 with a quick throw to the outside. You know, we're not allowing a lot of yards after the catch typically, but we are just allowing a lot of catches. As they get the first down there, looking for Brown, they did find Brown. As they hand it off, Swift down the middle. Murray read it, but gets stuck behind the blocker, bouncing off the 2 tacklers. Swift is headed to the house, but there is a flag back at the line, which might be backing them up. We'll take a look. And indeed, it is a holding call. We'll back them up on their right guard. So 1st and 17 instead here for Hurts as it goes out wide, dumping it off to Goddard, who will pick up about 7-8 yards. Leaving them with 2nd and 9 from shotgun, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. Will be another pass, swinging it out to Swift. Kendricks a little bit slow in the juke, will get the first down as Bobby Brown a bit shaken up, and the extra play there at the end definitely not helping out. he'll head to the sideline, and just like I mentioned earlier, we will be seeing that younger, I want to say he was a 61 overall DT, so hopefully he has something good to do for us, and we're just late on the tackle again. Swift gets upended, but it is another first down to the 35. Linebackers so far have been close to getting the fills that they need, but just about a step off, and Swift very much capitalizing on it. With a pass across the middle, you're going to find Quez Watkins making another guy miss. I think that was Kendrick who went for the ankle tackle. So as it stands right now, not seeing much of an improvement from the defense, though I do want to talk a little bit about Adebo, who we traded for last time and gets in on the tackle on this play. But after watching the film of the last episode, very much felt like I was a little bit harsh on him. I actually think he did pretty well for us, got stuck into the running game as we almost fill it once again, but instead Swift does still get his touchdown. Eagles go up early. But as we head out for our first offensive drive, yes, I do think Adebo played a lot better than originally I thought. Just watching the film, he actually did really well in coverage. As we have some space, a late spin move there from Akers maybe cost us some yards, but he picks up plenty on first down. Though he does seem to feel that hit that came in. I believe that was Fletcher Cox. No, it was Jordan Davis. Play very similarly. Let's go with a little bit of some play action. We're going to try to involve some play action as that pass underthrown. There's been calls to have a new quarterback come in. I just don't think right now is the right time, so we'll stick with Stafford for now. Who knows, maybe we'll go Stetson Bennett in the second half of the season, as no blocking there for Akers. Will be a 3 and out. So not massive changes so far, at least with the first look. But fingers crossed that as the team gets settled here with some of the new players, they'll start to catch their groove. As we have a 1st and 10, starting just inside the 30, going deep. Witherspoon beat, and Quez Watkins not gonna get away from the last guy. And the veteran we just brought in, Brandon Williams, also shaken up. Struggling so far with our D-line depth, staying healthy. So Turner back out there as I want to say the other guy, why can I not remember, Bobby Brown. He did have a bit of a medium injury as Swift apparently wanted to go beast mode. And he'll take that straight to the house. I haven't seen DeAndre Swift run like that, but apparently in Madden, he does. So as we head back out offensively, we really need to get this thing going. We've seen this team each week to start this season go down 2 possessions early and just not be able to fight back. So if we could find a little bit of that, I think we'll be off, not would say to the races, but somewhere. So that is the goal. Just get this offense moving. I want at least 3 touchdowns, and we'll call that a personal victory as Akers' strong run there will set up a 3rd and 2. And now that we do finally have a fullback, let's try to see what he could do on 3rd and short. Fullback dive. DeGuara will pick up the first down, though he gets rocked. We end up picking it up, Max Williams. So technically the 2 new tight ends get us the first down, though nowhere near conventional. And that's kind of just what's going to happen when we put a tight end at fullback. He might get rocked a couple times. Let's go with that play action rollout. Again, underthrown, and that's going to be an easy interception for Slay. Honestly, at this point, I think Stafford is shaving points. Just his level of play does not make sense for us right now. 1st and 10, Eagles take over just under midfield as we come out with a man coverage, and it's a perfectly timed throw there from Hurts, the near opposite of what we just saw with Stafford. So I did mention earlier about wanting to keep Stafford, but maybe he just needs to get relegated down to a backup role, as there's a good fill from Murray. Gets the stop after a gain of 2. So potentially the next move for us to make is bring in another quarterback. Also see if maybe Stetson Bennett is just our guy for this season. Pass to the outside, dropped. I believe that was the first time they've gone Smith's way, and we'll have ourselves a 3rd and 8. As they do send everyone deep. Hurts looking to scramble, will pick up the first down and slide down, avoiding the hits. First time he actually looks to run is a good time. He also runs us to the second quarter as they are down to the 25. Coming out spread, 3 to the right, One to the left, and it will be a pass to the outside. Another bad tackle attempt here for us, and Fuller this time will wrap up a gain of 5. I feel like right now this team has to find a way to get aggressive with some blitzing, but we've also not done very well in coverage, so makes things difficult to give us a real reason to send the blitz, as it does work out fairly well for us there, just a gain of 1. And on 3rd and short here, looking for a stop. Pass to the outside. They will get it to Goddard. First down. Was a interesting throw there from Hurts. Was a little bit behind his target, but for them, it actually worked out. And they have a 1st and 10 down to the 12 as they go back to Swift, filling the gap at a great cutback lane, and he'll end up picking up 7. He's averaging 10 yards on all 8 of his carries, 2 touchdowns already for him as he's looking potentially for a 3rd and will get a hat trick touchdown rushes in the first quarter and a half of this game. But we've seemingly seen enough of Stafford, so it is going to be Bennett at least for this drive. As we head on out, Akers has some space, tries to run through the defenders, does pick up 9. Now just need to try to keep that moving. As we'll stick with the ace formation, look for a run down the middle, and meeting Jordan Davis once again. Picked up, slammed down Akers. Now, if you want to know how bad the passing game has been, I don't think we've even gotten a completion off of a simple slant route yet this season, as we're going to have to scramble, and yeah, no one got open once again. 4th and 11, probably have to punt again. That time, the pass rush got around the new addition in Peters. And Swift, we'll just see how many touchdowns he gets today. But at least some good news for us. Williams is back out there at DT. He had I want to say it was a dislocated thumb. So he's actually fighting through a decent injury. Trying to help us out across the middle. As it's a rollout pass, Hurts will find Swift and we'll get out of bounds with a gain of 6. But it sure would be nice if we could get some form of pass rush up front. Because right now, Hurts just has all the time to throw and Swift has all the space he needs to run. So let's see if we could get something going. This is actually going to be a pass deep. Witherspoon beat Duvernay. Touchdown. At least this time it didn't go to Swift. But yeah, this defense, bad. It also doesn't help us that the Eagles have a very fast receiving group. Meanwhile, I think our fastest corner is an 89, maybe a 90 speed. So to say we have a mismatch is very much an understatement, as that's honestly, even for the offense, just very outmatched here as Akers will find the gap and then gets lit up. Ball comes out, and I think the Eagles may be recovered. Honestly, can't even fault Akers right now because he gets the ball 80% of our snaps. And he's been getting hit quite often. Honestly, we might need to bring in another running back just to help out, as we almost got a sack in there on Ertz, and we can't even get a simple tackle here. Whew, this is going to be a fun season. Just waiting for one of these players to just make some plays here for us, as Swift is looking, but not going to get to his 4th touchdown yet. But as it stands, I don't think we're actually going to be keeping around Williams after this game, because he's definitely not helping us out up top, or up front, as there's a sack for the rookie in Young. Finally a highlight here for the defense. Young has kind of lost one of his starting spots, as we are starting Bonito, the guy we traded for at least today on the outside, because he does have the better pass rush ability, as Witherspoon as well as Fuller will knock that one out of Goddard's hands. Now on 3rd and goal, can we just get the last stop here? I would love to just give up a field goal rather than a touchdown. That would be an improvement for us, as Hurts. It hurts right now. That's just the summary, as they will find the touchdown to Devontae Smith. Well, as we head back out here on offense, not even to halftime, we're down 35-0. One of the worst games of football we've probably seen on this game of Madden yet. Luckily, at least with Stetson Bennett, he can scramble a little bit. We'll see if that ends up helping us out a little bit, just extending some plays as Akers dives while also avoiding a big hit from Jordan Davis, and just interesting all around as we have a 3rd and 1, and Jordan Davis once again really struggling at that right guard spot. But for the first time today, let's go for it here on 4th down because it's not going to hurt us if we don't get this, as we're already down a lot. Trying to scramble to the outside, Bennett has his receiver and Jefferson makes the catch. I'm pretty sure that is our first actual reception on a slant route, maybe the entirety of this season. We'll go back to the run very quickly after Akers, trying to get away, and that guy was definitely not even touching us, but we fall down with him, I guess. Who knows, maybe Stetson Bennett was the player this team needs. As we'll go with a little bit of some play action. Dump this one off. Johnson gets the catch, who is getting the start in the slot today. We did demote Tutu Atwell, who just hasn't been catching the ball. Honestly, not that he's been getting a lot of opportunities. But we do have the first down here, a little bit of some RPO. We will hand this one off. Akers picks up some yards. Looking good so far this drive, knock on wood. But I didn't realize where we were in terms of the clock, and we actually hit halftime. So potentially could have hit a field goal there, but I feel like going in the half 35-0 is very fitting for just the state of this team. Anyone else having this bad of a game around the league? As we look at the first game here against the Cardinals, taking on the Bengals. Cardinals surprisingly 2-2. Figured they would have been just as bad as us, but they're currently down right now 13-10 to the 4-0 Bengals. Next up, looking at the Vikings-Chiefs game. That one could be good. Vikings not off to a great start though. 21-7 Chiefs up top. And for the last studio update, all the way over to the coast, we have Washington Commanders taking on the Bears, and the Bears move to 4-1 on the season as they have Dalvin Cook in this universe. 24-21, Commanders drop to 1-4. Luckily though for us, as we do get stuck on in, we will be starting off with possession as we open up with the kickoff here. Hodges Tomlinson trying to find some space, and he will maybe get back to around the 25. It's been all Cam Akers so far today, but even that hasn't been enough. Unfortunately, the running back of the game very much going to Swift, who's just been lights out. As we start with a strong eye, stretch to the outside, Akers has some space, stiff arm does work, but not going to get away from the second and third defender. And as Akers is a little bit slow to get up, he'll head to the sideline, and we'll check in the rookie Evans. See what's and he actually does find a little bit of a gap. Nice run. Every now and then we check him in, and he does well, but inconsistent. Granted, this whole team is inconsistent. As we'll spread wide for the first time today, it's actually a 4-receiver set. Quick right down the seams, and Bennett overthrew it. Can't miss those opportunities when they present themselves. But as we spread the Eagles defense wide, hopefully that'll help us out in the middle here, as Evans does pick up 4. And on 3rd and 6, we'll crunch down the spread here. See if we could find a pass to the outside perhaps, or on the drag. We will find Washington, who picks up the first down, and really not much more. But so far with Bennett, this passing game actually seemingly coming alive here. Let's see if we can get some play action. Anyone get open deep? No. Throw it away late. We'll take it. Though Bennett does take a big hit there across the middle, as I think there was like 2 or 3 defenders bearing down on him. Hand this one off Akers, who tried to get through that gap, but a good tackle there from Graham. Leave us with another 3rd and medium, needing 7 yards here. Need to essentially get the ball down to the 35. As we'll stick with the scrunched up look. Pass to the outside, gonna have Johnson, and he's close. Refs do give it to us. Perhaps a little bit of some home field advantage coming in there for us. I will take it as we go to the ace formation. Hand this one off the left side, and Akers honestly does well there to get back to about the line of scrimmage. But right now, we're not getting very far with that right guard taking on Davis, and I believe that is the rookie. He's struggling to open up the season as Akers breaks to the outside, not going to have the speed or the balance to break away from that last group, but down to the 9 for our first goal line situation today. Occasionally, we will break off those nice runs. Would wish that we could hit those a little bit more often, as we will go with a pass here on 1st down. Gonna roll, try to buy some time. Don't like what we see, we'll throw it away. Now on 2nd and goal. Let's go with a run to the inside, some inside zone. See if we could get any blocking, and no. So on 3rd and goal, hard count, and we jump offsides. Left guard moves, we'll back up even further. However, I'm liking the look here as we're going to send Johnson to that back corner. The slant route maybe draws in the other corner, or doesn't do any of that. Let's roll out here. We might have our guy. Van Jefferson lost track of the ball. Wasn't a great throw from Bennett, and it will be an interception for Harmon. Well, the drive was going well, but didn't end very well. But you know, at least one thing we could say was progress. There was progress on that play, or on that drive in general. As Hurts, sitting, waiting, will find Swift, and he will pick up another first down. Only 2 incompletions for Hurts on the day. Swift, obviously we know he's been fantastic. Just waiting for someone on this defense to just make a splash play. Those have kind of become our better plays. Essentially, if we don't give up a first down or a touchdown, it's a good play for this defense. As they will set up the halfback screen, Swift has space, a couple guys in pursuit, and Murray will help bring him down. But I'm pretty sure DeAndre Swift is close to 200 yards from scrimmage today, and he still has essentially a full extra quarter to find some more. As they send Brown in motion, fake the jet sweep, Swift down the middle will pick up a solid 5, maybe 6. He does just need 40 more yards in total to hit that 200 mark. So a really, really good game for Swift. We're making his season so far. As it's a 2nd and 5, under a minute left here in the third quarter. Gonna be an easy pitch and catch to the outside. Swift also gets some yards after the catch, down to the 29. With about 30 seconds here in the third quarter, they will go back to the run. Swift with some space, and let's make that about 30 more yards needed as Brandon Williams injured once again. So that signing definitely not panning out for us, as it's a 2nd and 1 for the Eagles. As they sit back in shotgun, quick throw to the outside. They have Duvernay, who just made the safety fall flat on his face, and it will be another touchdown here for the Eagles. And kind of right now, I feel like let's switch things over. We obviously try to run more, but let's switch over, just see what Stetson Bennett can do. If we give him full control as he finds, well, not really finds, technically it counts as a pass, but let's see what Johnson can do as the jet sweeping. And it honestly works out pretty well for us, though we do hit the fourth quarter here down 42-0. And we potentially will still make some more changes to the receiving group as there was plenty of open spaces there for us. We couldn't find it. Unfortunately, Hassan Reddick also picks up an injury. Just seemingly this continues to be a problem at the start of this series, and I might lower the injury slider. At the end of the day, we're here to watch these guys play, not here to watch them continually be injured. Pass to the outside. Johnson does get the feet down inbounds, 3rd and 3. However, Philly up 42 points. They're going to challenge. So we'll take another look at it. We'll see if Johnson did get the catch in bounds. Hard to tell with the initial angle or the secondary angle, though. I feel like I see green down there. So let's expedite this. And indeed, they say he did get his feet down. So a 3rd and 3. I mean, why even challenge that? It's not even like it's a first down. We'll go with the inside zone, and Akers not very close. Now, this kind of worked for us earlier, though just not in a typical manner. 4th and 2. Hand this one off to the new guy at fullback, and DeGuara falls forward for the first down. That time he doesn't fumble, in which having his other tight end recover. First down for us at the 48 as we spread wide. Might need to step up in this pocket, and okay. That ball was meant to go to receiver about 15-20 yards downfield. So at this point, I think Madden's just being Madden, and they don't like the Rams. Though the hit there maybe caused some slight inaccuracy, but it just went straight to the backer. But either way, it's another turnover for us and a 1st and 10 at about midfield for the Eagles. Already up 42 points. A good stop there from Jones, who did really well for us stopping the run against Taylor and the Colts. However, he clearly forgot all the good he did last week during practice this week, because he has not looked very good in this one. As Swift once again gets the carry, spinning off some more tacklers. Adebo with the sure tackle. But it's a 3rd and 3 here for the Eagles. At the 41, can we get a stop? We get a decent push up front. He's close, gonna depend on the spot, but it does look like the ref is moving them on. And from here, we might start to see a just run the clock style, as we luckily will get the tackle there. I'm pretty sure Swift thought he was about to get his fourth. But with a 1st and 10 just outside the red zone, will be a bunch to the right for Hurts, as it will be a play action pass going up top, and there's A.J. Brown, the one guy who we're doing pretty well against. He finally gets the better of the Debo, and they will make it 49-0 because they didn't have enough points. Well, with about 4.5 minutes left in this one, can we just somehow scrap together at least a single point? I don't even know if that's possible here, but that's what we're looking for. As Johnson gets the catch, he has some amount of speed and asked for it. It is delivered. What could it be our first, actually I'm pretty sure is, our first passing touchdown since week 1. As we find Johnson in his first start of the season, Stetson Bennett with the throw. Maybe this is what we need to find, a little bit of luck. And it does not make sense to just take the extra point. Might as well go for 2 here, just as a way to try to practice. As we go back out wide, we find Johnson, who very well might be wide receiver 1 for us. Make it 49-8. Don't call it a comeback. Though I wouldn't mind this defense forcing a quick stop, maybe even a turnover, would be nice. This will be a rush. Swift gets by the first defender, brought down by Durant. Continuing on with some heavier looks here on 2nd and 4. Hard count, no one jumps, and it's a nice cutback lane for Swift, who does not pick up the first down, 3rd and inches. And this could very much go against us in trying to do anything, but let's bring the heavy blitz, and they're at least not going to get an immediate touchdown off of it. What will be a first down closer to midfield, just past the 45. But honestly, I don't even know where they're passing at this point. Might as well just give it to Swift and see how many yards he can pick up, because he's done pretty well for him. With a run to the outside, nice stop there from Young. And as we do finally hit that 2-minute warning, I definitely expect just rushing here for the Eagles. Though, would have expected that a little bit earlier. And Murray, do you want to actually make a tackle? Swift does hit a $150 on the ground with that one though, and he already has about 50 receiving yards plus, so yeah, he's well over the 200 mark, which is not great. Pass to the outside, Goddard takes the hit, does not get the first down, but can we just knock that pass out next time? And why are the Eagles lining up to go for this? They're up 49-8. Well, any respect I had for the Eagles is gone, as I originally started watching the NFL as a Giants fan, so I already didn't like them. We sent the safety blitz, and it hits home. Fuller gets the stop, turnover on downs. And with 33 seconds left, just past or just about at midfield, let's see what Bennett can do. Let's let him cook here late on. See if he can find something as we loft that one up. Gonna find Van Jefferson, but he can't squeeze it. It was actually a pretty good throw there from Bennett. But it's a drop, and we'll have 2nd and 10. Pass to the outside. Gonna find Johnson, who does once again get the toe tap, 3rd and 2. Needing to at least pick up the first down here. Try to set up maybe an RPO. Hand this one off down the middle. Akers. Stop. 4th and 2. How did we gain nothing on that play? Well, if it worked before, I guess we're just going to keep going back to it. 4th and 2. DeGuara down the middle. I don't know if we picked up that first down. Clock is running, so I'm going to assume so. But DeGuara in his debut ends 3 of 3 on first down attempts, all of which were on 4th down. So some props to him there, as they're going to try to find someone. Loft this one up Washington. It's more of a throwaway. And on 2nd and 10, 8 seconds left. Maybe have time for a couple more plays here. Right down the seam, we're going to find McCutcheon, who gets the catch. Final timeout called, 5 seconds left. He's getting one of the, actually, let's make a quick audible here. If they're going to send a blitz right down the middle, maybe we could hit him over the top. Either way we go McCutcheon's way. It's a bad pass from Bennett, and it will hit the turf. Had to take our shot there at the end. I will say at least the passing game got going with Bennett out there, though this game obviously did not go very well. 49-8. The Eagles not even fly, they soared their way to victory in this one. They looked good, and we just looked I wouldn't even say D1 college, we were JUCO. And at least one good thing I could say in this episode is that the sun did finally kind of go behind a cloud and you can actually see the purple background lights. And that's really the highlight of this episode. That, and I think Johnson performed really well. That was a breakout performance I was not expecting, and I was hoping one of the new guys that we signed was going to make some big plays for us. But I think moving forward, we'll definitely keep Stetson Bennett at least in that starting spot, or possibly have a battle between him and maybe a new quarterback that we might bring in. I expect more changes to happen before the start of the next game against the Cardinals, a team who I think is just as poorly built as we are, though they're off to a better season. But the reason I haven't moved over to that Week 6 game yet is because I don't want to miss out on more opportunities to potentially find some free agents. So I'm going to look more into that in between this episode and next episode. I don't think there's anyone left on this team we could possibly trade. So at this point, it's going to be looking for guys who are on practice squads or were waived from their teams, released. Maybe occasionally bringing in a vet just to help mentor a certain position group that's really young. That might be something that we'll just have to look to do for the remainder of this season, just to make these games interesting. I mean, 49-8, while it's hilariously bad, looking for a little bit more action, even to, help us out with these shorts that I upload of these videos. Though at this point, I might need to make highlights for this series, at least for season 1, just be more so lowlights. We'll see if that's what we end up doing, but until next time, expect more changes, and to make sure that you actually see what changes we do make. And if this team could win a game in season 1, hit that bear icon in the bottom right, or scroll down to the actual subscription button and tick that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series is posted every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. On Wednesdays and Saturdays, we have the state-only challenge, currently the Virginias, as mentioned earlier on this episode. So 6 full-length videos, plus trying to get those shorts out there. We are wrapping up some of the Madden 23 highlights. But for this series and the Virginias, been trying to get some in there, but both teams struggling a little bit, and hopefully we're going to see that take a turn for the better. Honestly, I don't think it could get worse. So until next time, or hopefully we will see that better, we'll see you then. Bye.